Hello and welcome to the studio. This week I'm going to take you through a process that I use for my students to help them change through any difficult chords. Now this is for any level, it's not just for beginners, even though I have gone into this exact subject in a full workshop. Or, I can't remember which side. Now in this video I'm going to go a little bit further and give you even more specific direction of how to keep your fretting hand on its toes. I realise hands don't have toes, but you know what I mean. Now this is a chord grid. Now hopefully you can see this clearly. If not, this is available in a downloadable PDF. I'm going to give it to you for free along with lots and lots of other ways that you can actually use this to develop other areas of your playing as well. You can find that in the link below. So what is this marvel of wonder? Well, the chord grid is something that I use as an external source that my students can use when I'm not there. It's kind of like me saying, play C major, play E minor 7, play F sharp augmented chord, just as a way to get them changing through chords that they wouldn't consciously choose because they are difficult, because they are outside your comfort zone. And that's basically what we need to do to improve. There needs to be an element of practice where you're using what you know in a fun way, and another side to practice where you actually focus on something that's difficult. Usually, if it's left up to my students, they'll play whatever chords they've always found comfortable, and they won't push outside of that comfort zone. You may fall into that category, or you may be the minority that understand that, and you do push and you work on the hard, difficult stuff. For anyone that finds that difficult to do, this is going to help. Now the first stage is to start with an empty grid like this. Now depending on your level, we're going to occupy each space in the grid with a different chord. They will be at random. So if there's a specific chord change that you find difficult from a song, then mix up all of the chords in that song, not just that 2 chord change or 3 chord change in and out. If you were learning from any particular structured method or course where you have all the chords you need to know for this level, use all those chords in the chord grid at random. So I'm going to do it from a beginner's point of view, just using the first couple of open chords that I'd expect beginners to know. And I'm going to imagine that you find B7 difficult to change into and out of. Now, I've tried to make that as random as I could, and there we go, an occupied chord grid of fairly basic open chords with a few that some people would find difficult. B7 is difficult to change in and out of. F major 7 may be a tricky one, you may not know it, and you may need to learn it at some point. So I've included those two in there. You can make it as easy or as difficult as you need to by the amount of obscure chords for you. If you're at the level where you're playing bar chords or power chords or extended bar chords, or even more advanced altered chords, various different voicings of chords, then you can use this to focus on those things that you find difficult. And once you have your occupied grid, you play through them comfortably. You can do one strum of every chord if you wanted to. So you look at the first one, you play G, and you carry on from there, A minor, at whatever speed you want. You can slow down, you can play comfortably, just to go through that, the process of finding that shape first, in your own time. Once you've gone through the whole thing right to the end, like you'd normally read something, then you can try it again to a metronome. You can strum 4 times, you can strum 8 times, you can strum as many times as you like, but you're playing to someone else's time to focus a little bit more. So you feel like you've only got a limited amount of time to change through each chord, so you're reading ahead. And you're developing that awareness for, something's about to come next. It's not just about, oh, I'm there now. That's fine. You can enjoy where you are for a little bit too much and you forget that you've got to change. Once you've gone through it again with a metronome, then you make that metronome faster, or you find a way to increase the kind of tension that you feel to give yourself less time to think from one change to the next. Now you could use this for the rhythm development of your practice routine. But what will happen is once you've done it enough, you'll start to remember some of the changes. You won't be sight reading it as much. You won't find it as difficult. When that happens, you change the direction on the grid. You can start going down each column if you wanted to. You could even do the whole thing backwards. You can do like a snaky movement going back and forth like this. You could do a spiral around the outside, making your way to the center, or the other way round. There are so many ways that you can change this that your fingers should never actually know what's coming. Now I really hope this helps. I know you can't see anything with this massive head in the way of the grid, but I'll move it out of the way very soon and you can pause the video and you can work through it on whatever screen that I'm on at the moment. But if you want something you can physically hold or look at outside of YouTube, you can download the PDF through the link below. It does have much more different directions that you could take to develop your theory, your awareness different time signatures, and also there's empty grids for different sizes. You can just print them off and you can use different ones as you introduce more chords to your vocabulary.